there, Grandma. How's it going? Are you doing well? I was just wondering if you already went to the hospital today to go make a visit?
Oh, well, hello there, Sandy. Yes, I went to the hospital today. Thank you for asking. And actually, you should know that your grandpa is getting better bit by bit every single day. So I know how worried you've been about him, but I really do think that he's going to be okay.
Really? You mean it? You think Grandpa's going to be okay? That's great news. I'm so happy to hear that. Do you have any idea when he's going to leave the hospital?
Well, the doctors haven't really given a firm date or anything yet. But I really don't think it's going to be too much longer now. I mean, it's quite crazy to think that your grandpa's been in the hospital all month.
I know, it's been so long. But I'm glad that he's getting better and that he should be getting out soon. I just wish that we lived a little bit closer so that I could have gone to see him.
Well, your grandpa talks all the time about how much he can't wait to see you. He told me today when he has to do his physical therapy to get better, he thinks of you and it helps him.
Did he really say that? Well, you tell him that I'm always cheering him on in my heart.
I will be sure to tell him just that tomorrow, Sandy. And I'm sure that it will make him very, very happy.
Thank you so much, Grandma. That means a lot that you would do that. But if you're going tomorrow, then does that mean that you've been going to visit him every day?
That's right. If I don't go and visit him, then your grandpa tells me he feels lonely.
Aw, poor Grandpa. But I'm glad that you're getting to keep him company while he's in the hospital. I really wanted to get to go out and do something with him since it's going to be summer break soon, but I guess he will still have to rest, won't he?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that you were almost done with school for the year. You must be so excited. Well, Grandpa may have to rest at home for a bit, but that doesn't mean that you can't come over and spend time at our house. I know how sad you were not getting to see Grandpa at your end-of-year recital.
I know, it was hard, but if I can see you and Grandpa this summer, then it'll all be okay.
You really are such a sweet little girl. Do you know that, Sandy? Anyways, do you have any other plans for your summer break this year?
No, I haven't really made any other plans to do anything else, actually.
Oh, I see. So you aren't going to do any camping trips or go on any trips with your family or anything like that? I thought that your parents always tried to take you to the beach or out camping or something like that every summer.
Yeah, they normally do, but I guess we're just not going to be doing anything this year. But then again, we really don't have anyone who can drive, so I guess it only makes sense.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Is your dad not at home?
Well, he isn't at home because he's actually always at work and always super duper busy.
I see. Do you have any idea what might be keeping your dad so busy?
I really don't know. Work stuff, I guess. I don't get grown-ups sometimes.
You know, Sandy, neither do I most of the time. But anyways, I wonder what's keeping your dad so busy that he hardly has any time to spend at home these days.
I really have no idea, but I think that Mom might know something that I don't. You should try asking her if you really want to know what Dad is doing.
Hello, Linda. How's it going? It's been a while since we talked. Oh my, this is Bianca, I take it, yes? That's right. Sandy just walked up to me and handed me the phone. How is Frank, by the way? Is he doing okay in the hospital? I'm really sorry that we haven't made it over there to visit him. Oh, that's okay. We understand how far away it is for you. Besides, it seems that you and my son are quite busy with work and the kids. And Frank says that it's not like he's on his deathbed or anything like that, so he doesn't really mind. I know. I'm just so sorry that he wasn't able to make it to Sandy's recital this year. I know how much he and Sandy look forward to it. Yes, he was disappointed to have to miss that, but anyways, I heard from Sandy that Liam is barely spending any time at home. Is he away on a business trip or something like that right now? Yes, he actually is. would you believe that his company sent him to Thailand for a whole month? Oh, wow. I had no idea that his business even operated outside of the country. Well, that must be very hard for you all. But I suppose that means that for the summer break, it really just is going to be you and Sandy then, right? Yeah, that's right. But I also have a lot of work to do this year, so I'm afraid it'll be a boring break for her. And it's not like I can just let her run around and do whatever she wants outside, so I just don't really know what to do at all. Yes, these kinds of breaks are really hard to deal with when you're parents by yourself. You have to do all the cooking and make sure Sandy's staying out of trouble and all of that. I know, I really do wish Liam was here. It all felt so much easier when it was the two of us. Especially since she isn't eating lunch at school anymore, cooking is taking up more and more of my time. I guess the kids may be on break, but that just means more work for the parents, doesn't it? I just wish that I had someone who would watch Sandy for me. Well, I was just telling Sandy that if she wanted to, she could come and spend some time with Frank and I this summer. We really don't mind hosting for a little bit, and if anything, I think it would make Frank feel better. Oh, no, Bianca, I could never ask you and Frank to look after Sandy. I mean, Frank will have just gotten out of the hospital by then, and I can't imagine it's good for his recovery to have a child running around. But maybe after the break, when school is back in session and it's closer to fall break, we could figure something out. Yes, please. By all means, come in the fall then. Frank and I just want to see you all at this point. We feel like it's been way too long since we've all gotten together as a family. Well, we'll look at our calendar and see what we can do. But anyways, it was nice talking to you. Tell Frank that we're thinking about him. Hey, Bianca, are you there? I was just texting because Sandy's summer break should have started and I wanted to check in on you. Oh, well, thank you for being so considerate, Linda. If I can be honest, though, things have been better. I don't think I've ever been this busy in my entire life. You mean because Liam isn't there to help take care of Sandy with you? Or do you just not feel safe at home with it being the two of you there? No, it isn't that. This neighborhood is really safe, and I don't think there's ever been a problem here. Well, that's good at least, but I suppose with all the bad weather you've been having the past few days, Sandy has probably been stuck in the house, huh? I just hope that you're not stressing yourself too much right now. I know that being locked in a house with your child can, well, push some parents to their limits. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. But thankfully, Sandy and I have plenty of indoor activities to do, so she isn't getting too stir-crazy. And even if the weather was good and I didn't have any work, I think that Sandy just enjoys playing indoors more than she does outdoors. Ah, I see. Well, I'm just glad that the two of you are doing all right. And I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for messaging you while you're so busy. I just wanted to let you know that if you need anything, you can always ask me. No, oh, Bianca, please. I really don't want to bring you into my problems or call you in just because I'm a little stressed is all. I could never do that. Oh, please, we're family. It isn't a big deal at all. Just know that you can always call on me. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, Linda. Oh, and just one more thing. I was going to send a little gift box of sweets for Sandy, but... Well, is there anything I shouldn't send her? Linda, I really appreciate you wanting to do that, but you don't have to do that. And since I'm not even at home most of the time, I don't think I'd be there to receive them. And neither would Sandy, since I told her never to answer the door when I'm not home. Oh, well, that's a good idea. You never know who it might be on the other side. Exactly, and I think if I knew that Sandy was answering the door while I was at work, it would really drive me crazy. I never knew that having a kid would make me this nervous in my life. Well, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. There are plenty of reasons to worry. I just hope that you're enjoying yourself as well. But anyways, as long as you're teaching Sandy to be safe, I suppose that's all that really matters. Thank you for understanding. I really am so grateful for what you've done and want to do. But I just have my hands full dealing with Sandy, and I kind of don't need any more to think about. Of course, if anything happens and I need your help, you'll be the first to know. Hello, Sandy. I'm sorry I can't pick up the phone right now. I'm in the hospital with your grandpa. But I can call you back soon if you just wait a little while.
Grandma, please, this is really, really bad. I don't know what to do. The house is burning. It's on fire right now.
Wait, sorry, what are you talking about, Sandy? Isn't your mom there? Are you home all alone?
Mom hasn't been home in a long, long time, and I tried calling my dad, but he won't pick up his phone. I don't know what I should do, Grandma. You have to help me. I don't have anyone else.
Wait, what do you mean that your mom hasn't been home in a while? As in she left for work this morning and still isn't home?
I mean that my mom got mad and then left the house with some other guy. Now I have no idea where she is right now.
Wait a second. You're telling me that your mom left the house with a man who wasn't your dad?
Yeah, that's right. After Dad left and summer break started, this strange man started coming over to our house. But I guess Mom and him knew each other because he was always driving her places and taking her out of the house. And then one day, a while ago, Mom left with that man and she never came back home since. I don't know who he is, but he always smelled like beer.
Sandy, do you think that your dad knows who this man is at all?
I don't know. I don't even know him. But Mom told me I could never tell Dad about him, so maybe not.
I see. This is all a lot to take in right now.
But if it's a man who isn't my dad, then that would mean my mom is cheating, right? I might not even be in middle school, but even I'm smart enough to see what's going on here.
I'm really sorry, Sandy. I think that you might have hit the nail on the head with that one. But that must make you really sad, right?
I tried telling Mom to stop cheating on my dad, but I told her that she shouldn't go out with this man anymore. I told her that if Dad knew what she was doing, and it would make him really sad, and that's when she told me that I could never, ever tell him.
I see. I'm so sorry that you're going through this right now, Sandy.
I know, but I've never seen Mom get this upset with me. Then the man she's with started getting mad at me and said that my mom was never going to come back home again.
And that's when they left? Do you have any idea when that was?
Yeah, it was about last Monday, now that I think about it.
Wait a second, last Monday? So you're telling me that you've been at home all alone all week? I don't believe this. Wait a second, you said there was a fire at your house? Are you standing outside right now? You're not still in the house right now, are you?
It's okay, Grandma, I'm safe. I ran out of the house when the fire got really big, and now I'm standing outside.
Oh, thank goodness. I am so happy that you're such a clever child, even if you are too clever for your own good sometimes. But anyways, what is the house like? How is the fire?
A neighbor came out and called the fire department and is standing out here with me, so I'm not alone right now.
Great, that is really amazing to hear. Please tell that neighbor thank you and ask if you can wait with her for a little bit. I'm going to call your mom and dad's work right now. Then after that, I'll go and pick you up. Bianca, you need to quit this foolishness and pick up the phone right now. Are you really going to pretend like you haven't noticed a single one of my calls?
Linda, I really am sorry, but I'm very, very busy with work right now, and I just don't have any time to talk at all.
Well, you should know that I got a call from your daughter last night. I'm sure that you did too, but apparently you ignored them all. How could you do that? How could you just abandon Sandy like that?
And just how did you know that Sandy was trying to call my phone last night, huh?
Well, that's because when she couldn't get a hold of you, she began to call me. She told me about how you had left the house some time ago and that you'd left her all alone at home. But she was only calling you because your house was on fire. That's all.
What on earth are you talking about? What is that even supposed to mean?
I mean, your house, the place where you live with your husband and child. You know, that place? There was a fire there.
Wait, I still don't understand. What do you mean there was a fire at my house?
Do you think that I'm joking with you right now? I guess you haven't really been keeping with the local news. Otherwise, you might have heard about the fire that set a whole house up ablaze.
And you're telling me that the house that got caught on fire was my house?
That's right. Not only that, but like I said, the whole place went up. And the whole place burned down.
I don't believe this. I don't know what to say right now.
Well, I would be speechless too if I just found out that everything I own had just been burnt to a crisp. And especially if all of that happened while I was out running around with some strange man. I would just feel like I made the worst mistake of my life if that happened to me.
What are you talking about? You're still not making any sense at all.
Am I not? You're the one who didn't even know your own house had burned down because you were ignoring your own child.
But, I mean, I was at work and I wasn't looking at my phone, that's it.
Oh, really? Because it's already well into the next day now and you're still seeming surprised at all of this. It sounds to me like you've been away from home for a while now, no? Perhaps because you're out cheating on Liam right now?
That is not true. I am at work right now. How dare you even imply that I'm cheating on Liam? Just who do you think you are?
Excuse me? I'm not the one lying about being hard at work while I'm actually out leaving my daughter at home to fend for herself. I have every right to be mad at you right now.
But I'm really not lying. I'm telling you the truth. Why won't you listen to what I'm trying to tell you?
I know how busy you've said you are, so I called your work and they told me that you put in quite a large request for time off.
Wait a second. You called my work? Why would you do that? You can't just go and do that.
Well, what did you expect me to do? There was a fire at your house, your daughter was alone, your husband is in another country, and you were nowhere to be found.
But still, you didn't have to call my work because of all that.
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't an emergency, and I think your house burning down more than counts as that. Honestly, do you act this way every time your husband is away from the house? Because Sandy told me about how you told her to keep quiet. You told her that if her dad ever found out that it would crush him and that she didn't want to do that to him.
And so you mean that you've heard all about this from Sandy?
That's right. She told me everything that's been going on since her dad went away and summer break started.
And just what kinds of things has that little brat of mine been telling you, huh?
Well, she told me that ever since school got out, you started bringing this strange man over to the house more and more. And she told me about how you both tried to keep her quiet. And how you two must have thought that would be enough to keep Sandy's mouth shut under any circumstances.
But this isn't fair. I didn't cheat on my husband, I swear.
Why even try and deny it at this point? Sandy's already told me the truth. You really should have tried harder to hide your affair from your own daughter, you know.
But, I mean, Sandy just doesn't get what's happening. Yes, it's true that I was going out with this guy who she'd never met before. But she's totally wrong about the affair. He was just a friend, I swear. She read this whole thing completely wrong.
Oh, just give me a break already, Bianca. You are doing nothing but burying yourself deeper into your lies. You flaunted your affair in your daughter's face and she didn't keep your secret for you. And because you decided to run off with this guy to who knows where, your daughter could have really been hurt. I mean, don't you even care about your own child at all? What if she hadn't been able to escape the fire?
You're right. I'm so sorry. I never wanted anything like that to happen.
So, then you admit to everything that I've said here? You really were having an affair?
I mean, affair is such a strong word. I was thinking of it more like a summer fling.
I don't really care what you call it. If you were involved with someone other than my son, that's cheating. But just what in the world were you thinking exposing Sandy to what you were doing?
I never thought that she would have been able to guess what was going on.
And just how in the world could she not have when you were bringing him over to the house for her to see? Instead, you just told her to keep her mouth shut and leveraged her love for her dad against her.
Well, that's because I knew if Liam found out that this would blow up like it is now. I just thought that if Sandy was too scared to tell her dad, that she wouldn't.
You're horrible. How could you manipulate an innocent child like that? Well, I hope that you're happy with this other man of yours, but you should know that you don't even have a home to go back to now.
And what about Liam? How much of this does he already know?
Oh, he knows all of it. We called and explained to him all about why his house was burned down.
And what did he have to say when he heard all of that?
Well, I only caught a little bit of the yelling and shouting. I had to mute my phone for a bit because I had never heard my son swear so much, and Sandy was in the room.
But then, does that mean that you think he's going to want a divorce? It's not like I wanted to marry the guy that I was seeing.
What do you think? You put his daughter in immediate danger. I can't see you talking your way out of this one, Bianca.
But he'll have to understand that I wasn't doing this because I didn't love my family. It was just a little fling, that's all, I swear.
Well, I guess that you and Liam are going to have that conversation between yourselves. But after what Sandy had to say about how you and this man of yours treated her, I really can't see him ever coming back around to you.
But you can talk to him. You can talk to Sandy and tell her that she didn't understand what she saw, and then you talk to Liam and explain how this was all just one big, huge misunderstanding, right?
I could do that. I could do a lot of things, but what you're asking me to do is lie to my granddaughter just like you lied to her. You're asking me to lie to my son just like you lied to him too. And those are both things that I simply refuse to do. Unlike you, I respect my family too much to manipulate them. You made your bed, now it's time for you to lie in it. After that, the police and firefighters investigated the fire and found out that it began in the kitchen and with a burner left on. Apparently, Sandy had been trying to cook for herself since she had no other choice when the fire broke out. Liam sued Bianca not only for her affair, but also all of the property damage that occurred not under her watch. In the end, Bianca ended up owing Liam more than she could afford. He also sued the man Bianca was sleeping with and got a pretty penny from him, too. I heard that because of all the legal fees, Bianca went deep into debt. She asked both of her parents for help with her situation, but they were furious with her and refused. With no home or family, Bianca had to move into a tiny apartment and start her life over from scratch. I hear that she can barely afford to even pay rent, as so much of her salary is now going to paying off her debt. Until Liam got back from his business trip, Sandy came to stay with Frank and I at our house. Both Frank and Sandy were overjoyed to get to see one another. I remember on the night of the fire when I told Frank it looked as if he was about to have a heart attack, he was so stressed. But when I told him that Sandy was safe, his eyes softened and he was finally able to breathe again. Of course, given the severity of the situation, Liam's work didn't keep him all over there for the duration of the business trip. He was able to come back home right away to deal with all that had happened. It was from then that he dealt with Bianca and her secret lover. I don't think that I have ever seen my son's face look so angry when their lawyers met. Of course, Liam was on one side of the table while Bianca and her other man were on the other. I swear that if it weren't for those 2 lawyers there, my son might have taken the law into his own hands. He told me later how the night of the fire he hadn't been able to sleep for 3 days out of worry for what was going on. Once all the legal proceedings were over, he slept a whole 48 hours straight. Liam took the money he got from the lawsuits and used it to buy a house much closer to my husband and I. Sandy was so happy to get to live closer to us. And we were so happy to be able to keep an eye on her. More than anything, I'm just so happy that all of this finished without anyone getting physically injured or permanently scarred. I feel so sorry for Sandy, but I know that she's a brilliant and resilient girl with a bright, bright future ahead of her.
Hey, Julia. Sorry I never messaged you after I got home last night. Thanks again for having me over for dinner. I had a great time. And your cooking is really amazing.
Aw, thanks. I'm glad you liked it. I was worried that my cooking isn't fancy enough for a city girl like you.
What? That is crazy. Your food is the best. If I could, I would come over every night to have your meals.
I'm flattered. But I only make easy stuff, so it's nothing really. Besides, you have all the selection and money to spend on posh meals, don't you, Miss CEO? I bet you liked my food because you haven't had something simple in ages.
Stop it, Julia. You're teasing me again. I am a CEO, but my team is still super small. I make as much as everyone else. So I'll have to save my extravagant meals for when I get rich in the future.
Oh, don't be so modest. Your company is doing so well now. I read your interview as one of the emerging leaders on the web the other day. You said that you were making profit.
Woohoo! We are making profit, but it's nowhere near our goal yet. So, like I said, nothing posh for me just yet. I like your food better anyway. It tastes like home, you know? If you didn't have a family to look after, I would hire you as my personal chef. If I had more money, that is.
Now you're just buttering me up, Tracy. But hey, if you like it that much, maybe I can stop by once in a while and cook something for you.
Seriously? I would totally pay you for that. It doesn't have to be that frequent. Perhaps once a week? Is that too much?
No, that's not a problem at all. You're only 30 minutes away. The thing is, I have been thinking about picking up a part-time job since Natasha started going to school. I was thinking about working a couple of days a week, maybe for like 2 or 3 hours a shift. I don't want to start anything too technical, so I was considering babysitting or housekeeping.
Why didn't I ask you sooner? I was thinking about hiring a housekeeper to take on some of the chores. Gordon and I have been so busy lately that our house is a huge mess. We just can't keep up with the housework anymore. If you can come over like twice a week and help us out, that would be so great. I would feel much more comfortable having you come over and help rather than hiring a professional housekeeper. I'll pay you plenty so it covers for your gas too. What do you think?
Are you sure though? I mean, you would pay me for doing your chores?
Absolutely. Our needs are perfectly aligned. And you know, it's just me, so we can be very flexible with schedules. You can come over whenever it's convenient for you, and do whatever you think is best to keep the house clean. If you want to come after Natasha's school, you can even bring her along.
Oh, that sounds superb. I'm going to talk to my husband about this as soon as he gets home. The only thing that was holding me back from taking on a part-time job was Natasha, because she gets sick all the time. I was so worried that I would have to cancel on my clients if I ever got called in from school, you know? So if I can work for you, I don't have to be as worried. I mean, I will do my best not to ditch you, of course.
It's okay, I totally get what you mean. This is what I call a win-win. I can trust you with my keys and pass some housework to you, while you get some cash but work with full flexibility. I wish it was this easy at work.
I bet.
Oh yeah, I forgot to check with you last night. The game I gave Natasha, did I get the right one? There were so many similar ones that I was worried I picked up the wrong one.
It was the right one. She was so happy that you got her that game. But she'll have to wait to play until her fever dies down. She's sleeping right now.
Oh no, again? She seemed totally fine yesterday. I hope she gets better quickly. When she does, tell her she can ask me if there's something about the game she doesn't understand. Because Gordon said he has played it before. He's happy to guide her if she needs it.
How nice of him to offer. Thanks, I will be sure to tell her. How are things with Gordon? Have things gotten better? I didn't ask yesterday in case you didn't want my husband to know anything.
There's nothing to hide, but thanks. I guess we are fine. I don't really know because we don't spend much time together anymore. I barely see him at home.
How come you both are so busy?
It's not me. I don't like working late, so I go home for dinner every night unless I have an urgent matter to take care of. Gordon used to be the same too. But right now, he's super busy because a couple of his coworkers quit. Now he has to do more work. I am guessing he volunteered for some of it, but a majority of it was just pushed onto him. His company's like that. He works so late and leaves the house much earlier than I do every day. I'm so worried that he's going to break down at some point.
I bet you are. Well, just another reason for me to support you guys. I'm going to have to make healthy meals so he at least gets enough nutrition.
Eating is one of his favorite things to do. He would be over the moon to find out you're going to cook for us on a regular basis. Anyway, I should get going now. Let me know what your husband thinks. I will also let Gordon know of our plan. We'll talk about when to start after we get feedback from our boys. Yes?
Sounds like a plan. I know my husband won't say no. In fact, I think he'll be very happy for me. I'll let you know anyway. Talk soon.
Gordon, are you okay? It's past 10 p.m. now. Are you still at work?
Yeah, I think it's going to take me another while tonight, but wow. I didn't even realize it was so late. How does time go by so quickly?
Honey, I've been wanting to tell you for months now. But I think you're overworking. You work so late every day, I've barely seen you. And recently, you've been working during the weekends too. Are you okay? I'm so worried about your health. How come you're so busy?
I'm alright. Besides, I'm not the only busy one. I know you work long hours too, having a company to run.
My hours are not that long, usually. I mean, sometimes I have to see clients over dinner or attend events on weekends. But even when I am very busy, I still make time to rest. The way you have been working is crazy. You have 0 time off.
Maybe you're right. But I don't get to decide how much or less I work. I'm just an employee to a company. If I have a problem with the workload, they'll just tell me it's my fault for not being efficient. Or worse, they could even tell me that I'm free to leave. So I really don't have a choice but to stay enslaved for them.
You are not sleeping well enough, though. And you don't even know how long this situation is going to last. You know you can't go on like this forever. Perhaps you should consider changing your work environment.
What? You want me to quit my job?
I'm saying it's always an option. I know you have a lot of pride in what you do, but there are other companies out there that would treat you so much better. And if you prefer, you can take some time off before you move on. You deserve it. After working hard for so long. I don't have any problem supporting you for a while until you figure out what you want to do next.
Why would you say such a thing? You're making me feel miserable.
What? How am I making you feel miserable? I'm worried for you.
You don't understand. Everyone at work knows you're a business owner. My colleagues are always mocking me, saying how lucky I am to have a loaded wife. My boss tells me I'm slacking off because I don't need to work hard since I have you making money. So if I quit work and you support me, it just proves to them that I'm dependent on my CEO wife.
Oh, I didn't know your coworkers said such things.
I know they're just jealous, but I actually care about my work, so it kills me when they say things like that to me. What I want to do right now is to prove them wrong. I want to work hard and show them I can bring good results, and shut them up. I want to win their respect.
I get it. You're so dedicated, and I'm very proud that you think that way. As your wife, though, I am extremely concerned. You only come home to sleep. If you have time to sit on the couch, you just sit there and stare at blank space. Don't you see your mind and body is sending you a sign to rest?
I'm just meditating. I'm fine, I swear.
I won't tell you to quit work if that's not what you want, but you at least need to secure time to rest. You should make a rule that you won't work after, say, 9 p.m. or on the weekends, maybe.
Are you crazy? I'm saying I have to deliver the best results among my coworkers. How am I going to do that if I don't work while everyone else is taking a break?
Gordon, you are not listening to me. Hey, you know, there's a long weekend coming up in a couple of weeks. Will you do me a favor and rest during that long weekend? Please?
Why?
My sister and I have been talking about us hanging out. She knows someone who can rent us a cottage by the lake. It even has an outdoor jacuzzi. It'll be us two and their whole family. What do you think? It should be nice and relaxing. You'll get to refresh yourself.
I already have plans that weekend. You can go with your sister's family. I really need to concentrate on work.
Fine then. But Gordon, please just know that I am worried about you. Because I really am. At least know your limits, okay?
Okay, I won't go over my limits.
Oh, I almost forgot. Julia made some soup today while she was here. I saved some in a container in the fridge, so help yourself when you get home. You can warm it up in the microwave for a couple of minutes. She has a lot of healthy ingredients in it for you, and it tastes amazing. I'm sure you will love it.
Alright, I will have to try some later. I appreciate that you both care for me. Anyway, I need to get back to work. Don't wait up for me, okay?
Hi, Tracy. Do you have a minute? I need to talk to you about something.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I was just about to ping you, too.
You were? What's up? Is everything alright?
Well, you know our weekend cottage plan we were talking about? I told Gordon about it, but he said he can't come. He says he needs to concentrate on work because he's trying to deliver results right now.
Oh, is that so? That's too bad. But to be honest, I kind of knew he was going to say no.
What do you mean?
Well, listen, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but Natasha has been telling me that Gordon scares her.
Gordon scares her? How come?
Do you remember when you came by to have dinner a little while ago? Natasha had asked me so many times if Gordon was coming with you. I told her no, but she just had to confirm with me over and over again. At that time, I just thought Natasha, being a shy girl, she was just nervous about seeing her uncle because she doesn't see him that often. But then I told her about our plan to go to the cottage, which included him, as far as we had planned. And she kind of freaked out. She literally turned pale and said that she doesn't want to see him because he scares her.
Really? Why, though? Did Gordon do something to scare her the last time they saw each other? As far as I can recall, I think they were playing a video game together. I thought they were getting along fine.
She told me that they were fine until then. But a few weeks ago, after they last saw each other, Natasha saw him coincidentally when she was hanging out with her friend and her mom. And it looks like that encounter triggered it.
What was he doing?
You see, it's not what he was doing. I don't know how to phrase this right without freaking you out, so I'm just gonna say it. But Natasha has a sixth sense, if you will.
Huh?
I know you don't believe in spiritual stuff. Frankly, I never did either. And we don't want to scare anybody, so we've never shared it. But I don't know how else to describe it, other than that she can get extremely frightened of someone or something. Or she would refuse to go somewhere we had planned to without much reasoning.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's totally crazy, but her sensor has helped us before too. This one time we visited the mall, but she suddenly started to cry, saying she didn't want to get out of the car. She was petrified of something, so we ended up leaving. When we got home, the mall was on the news. Because some idiot was walking around the mall with knives in both of his hands. My husband and I just looked at each other. Oh, I am getting goosebumps again just thinking about it.
What?
You know how Natasha gets a fever so easily? I'm starting to think that it's because of her sensors. She must pick up information other people don't, so it had some kind of stress or emotional impact. And her body reacts by raising her temperature or something. I don't know the mechanism, but I think it's related. Sorry, I know I'm not making any sense to you. You probably don't believe any of this.
It's certainly not easy to digest. But you never believed in that kind of stuff before. So you telling me that makes it kind of believable. But let's say what you are telling me about Natasha is true. Why would she be afraid of Gordon?
Well, this is the hardest part to tell you. But I had to look into him because I couldn't figure it out either. And from what I found, Tracy, I'm so sorry, but your husband is not a good person. He's full of lies. You shouldn't stay with him.
What?
I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done anything without your consent, but I didn't know how else to find out what he was up to. So I hired a private investigator.
What did you find? How was he full of lies? Come on, Julia, just tell me.
He's cheating on you with 3 other women. And he's stealing your money.
Excuse me? He's doing what?
I think Natasha has become scared of him because she noticed that he's pretending to be someone he's not around us. She must have sensed his dark side or something, I don't know.
No way.
You are a very professional person, so I know you manage your corporate money well. But I bet you have less security for your personal savings, don't you? Have you been keeping track of your bank account every month? Do you keep your ID and password out of sight? You should look into it right away.
Damn it. I think you're right. I just checked my savings online. There's a lot less than what should be in there. I should have noticed it sooner. I'm such an idiot.
I knew it. The private investigator reported to me that he's been acting like a sugar daddy to his girlfriends. He's been spending on anything she asks for. But I knew he's not that rich, so the PI and I suspected that he was using your money. The PI took some photos of them for proof, and I also have a full report with me. You should look through them. Are you okay?
I don't really know how I feel right now. I trusted Gordon, so I'm a bit confused, I guess.
Do you want me to come over? I can come to your office if you want. I'm so sorry I have to tell you all this. You must be in shock. But you should see the proof and report for yourself. I could bring it to your place after you're done with work.
I do want to see them, but not at my place. Is it okay if I come over there to yours? I don't want to go home, not when I know he is going to be back at some point. I don't want to see his face.
I understand. And yes, you can come and stay here as long as you want.
I'll head over in a bit.
Okay, I'll be here. Drive carefully, please.
Tracy, is everything all right? I haven't seen you in a while. I know you said you've become busy at work, but you haven't been home at all, have you? How are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? I'm asking how you were doing. Has something serious happened at work? Is that why you haven't been home? Don't tell me your company has become bankrupt.
Why do you think that?
Well, nothing like this has ever happened before, so it must be serious, right? Or else you wouldn't be stuck in your office for so long. Tell me what's going on.
Are you worried about me? Or are you just worried because you can't take out money from my account anymore?
Huh? Take out money from your account? What are you talking about? I'm just genuinely worried about how my wife is doing.
Cut it out, Gordon. You don't have to lie to me anymore because I know everything. And by everything, I mean I know you have used my ID and password to steal money from my account so you could buy your side chick some goodies. You just messaged me because you realized you can't log into my account anymore. Well, guess what? I'm done letting you steal from me. And you know what else is done? Our marriage. I am divorcing you.
Whoa, Tracy, hold your horse. Are you kidding me? I'm not cheating on you. You know I'm too busy to do anything like that. I've been working my ass off day and night for months now.
Let me correct you. You have been acting to work your ass off. But in reality, you were just working someone else. You were never in your office at night or on the weekends. I have proof of it too, so don't bother making more excuses. A private investigator has been keeping an eye on you. And I have records of my money being taken out. I am reporting this to the police so that they can track down the IP address.
No, you got it wrong. You were just misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding what exactly? Explain.
You were the most important thing to me in my life. I admit that I slept with someone else, and I'm sorry, but it was nothing. I swear. I was lonely, but there were no feelings at all. I was just testing myself. Yeah, that's it. I did it to see if my loneliness would go away, but it only made me realize how important you were.
You sound so stupid that right now I can't remember anything that was ever good about you.
Hear me out, Tracy, please. You are a successful woman, whereas I'm just an ordinary office worker. So you see, I felt miserable and lonely. I've become jealous of you and needed someone to fill my misery. But it only made me realize how much you mean to me.
You haven't explained which part I am misunderstanding. You just admitted that you'd been cheating on me. You haven't said anything about stealing my money, but you haven't denied it either. So I'm guessing it's true. So tell me, what am I misunderstanding?
I'm saying I've had my reasons. But it doesn't even matter anymore because I now know that you were the only thing that matters to me. It was a one-night fling, nothing more.
Funny. Because the PI report here says you've been seeing not one, not two, but 3 women regularly. Among them include Anne, who you have been telling you want to get together with her.
I never said anything like that.
Well, you have, you scumbag. I met Anne in person. Maybe the other 2 were flings, as you say, but not Anne. Or at least, you pretended to be in a serious relationship with her. She showed me a message you sent her saying how you wanted to divorce me as soon as possible so that you could marry her instead.
It's not what you think, Tracy. I was just playing along. She was annoying me, so I tried to satisfy her so that she would stop.
Well, if what you are saying is true, you just made things worse. Not that I believe you for a second, of course. You know, Anne was very happy that I finally knew about you two. She was mocking me, saying that she was sorry for taking away my status as the wife of a CEO. So when did you start your own company, Gordon? What a surprise. I didn't even know I was the wife to a CEO.
You're misunderstanding again. I just lied to her because I didn't want her to know my real occupation, that's all. You know, just keeping my personal information safe.
Oh, Gordon, honey, you don't have to pretend anymore. It's all good. See, I get to divorce a scumbag like you, and you can get together with your petty girlfriend who was only interested in your status. It's what you wanted, right? So why don't we be happy about it?
No, that's not what I want at all. I don't want to get a divorce. I want to stay married to you. I love you.
No, you don't love me. You just wanted to stay with me because you love my money. By the way, I had the PI look into your reputation at work. Holy crap, Gordon, you are seriously the worst employee any business could have. It wasn't your boss who was saying you were slacking because you're married to a business owner. It was you. You've been telling your coworkers that you didn't have to work so hard because I would take care of you anyway. That you didn't care if you got fired.
I was being sarcastic. I may have said something like that to act strong, but I didn't really mean it. I really have been working really hard to deliver results. Don't you know how much I care for my work?
Stop lying to me. You really don't know when to stop, do you? Next time you lie, you should check if I have my grounds, because I probably do. I have already dug up your dirt. All of it. I know you've been dumping all the work on new members in your team so that you could leave the office at 5 p.m. sharp every day. Then you would head out to luxurious restaurants with your girlfriends and buy them expensive jewelry or handbags using my money. I have it all, Gordon. You lying son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. I was wrong about everything. Please forgive me.
You should have apologized right away instead of making up excuses. I can't believe how pathetic you are. I can't believe I never saw your true side all this time.
You have to give me another chance, please. I love you, I really do. You are all that matters to me. I did everything I did because you were too great. I lost confidence because you were so successful. I was just pretending to be a bigger person than I really am by acting rich.
I don't care why you did it anymore. But don't you dare tell me you love me. Because if you really did, you never would have betrayed me and hurt me like this in the first place. So cut the crap and just divorce me.
Are you sure you want to do that? Do you realize you'll have to pay me divisions? I will not go easy on you. I will ask for the full half if you try to divorce me.
Have fun trying. You're not getting anything from me.
This can't be. I know you made tons of money since we got married. You always act so modest, but I know you have it.
First of all, the money you have been stealing from me is the money I have had saved before we got married. I have a different account for the money I've made through my business, which I started after we got married. Therefore, you're not entitled to any of the money you took from me. You stole it without my consent. Therefore, I am suing you and you will pay me back every cent. I am also suing you for emotional distress, and apparently so is Anne because you faked to be a different person. I've already hired a good lawyer so that I can avoid paying you as much as possible. From what you have done, I wouldn't count on getting much at all.
You're just saying that.
Am I, though? I guess we will see. But wow, Gordon, I honestly thought you were better than this. What an idiot. I guess that makes the two of us, though. Because I'm such an idiot, too, for not seeing it sooner. Anyway, we're done. You should be receiving a petition real soon. I'll see you in court.
Tracy, forgive me. I won't cheat on you ever again. I will never lay hands on your money either. Don't divorce me, please.
Why on earth should I forgive you? I will never. You don't deserve any chances. And I don't have the energy or time or money to spend on a moron like you. So goodbye.
I love you from the bottom of my heart. Tracy, listen to me. I will push myself harder so that I become good enough for you. I will do as you say. I will work really hard to make up for everything, so please, give me one last chance.
I'm not that naive. In fact, I'm smart enough not to repeat the same mistake again. I was an idiot for letting my cheating husband use my money once. I refuse to let that happen ever again. So no chances for you ever. It's actually kind of funny how you're panicking now that you've been cornered. I look forward to seeing how you change after our divorce and without my financial support. I bet you're going to end up more miserable than you already are now. A year later, our divorce was finally concluded. By that time, I had already won my case against him for emotional distress thanks to my top-in-class divorce lawyer. So although I had to end up paying him divisions, I got a significant amount back, which was satisfying enough for me. I heard that Anne had tried to sue him too for fraud, but had no grounds since he was the one paying for all of her expenses from my money, not the other way around. Unfortunately for her, after Anne's parents found out that their daughter stayed in a relationship knowing Gordon was married, they were completely enraged and made contact to me to apologize for what she's done. They generously offered to pay consolation money, which I decided to take under the condition that Anne would pay her parents back. To my surprise, Gordon was fired from his company around the time of our divorce. Apparently, one of his co-workers had proof that Gordon was seeing one of his girlfriends during work hours. We all know he brought it upon himself from being a very irresponsible employee, dumping work on other people's plate. I bet he was not expecting to lose his job too, but I really don't feel sorry for him. I'm just glad that I found out sooner than later that my husband was a lying sleazeball. I've been living on my own since, but because Gordon was never home anyway for the later part of our marriage, nothing's really changed. Sometimes I think about the good memories with Gordon and feel very sad for what happened, but Julie and Natasha keep me company often. It was a horrible experience to be betrayed by someone I used to love, but my family's support and kindness has helped me keep it together. I think it'll take more time for me to say that I'm fully recovered from the awful experience. But I will keep my head up high and do what I can to stay positive. One day, I hope I can laugh my past off and say with confidence that I'm happier than ever. Hi there, Mia. How are you? My husband told me that you were at the hospital earlier to visit him. He told me you kept him great company. Thank you so much for taking the time to see him. I know you're very busy. Both George and I are very grateful for you.
It's my pleasure, Stella. I have very flexible working hours since I work from home. And besides, I enjoy seeing my brother. I don't mind visiting the hospital to spend time with him.
You have no idea how much I appreciate you visiting him. I wish I could see him more often, but you know, now that he is ill, I have to work to keep food on the table. So it's difficult for me to make the time. But you've been so good to us, visiting him and taking care of my daughter when I can't. I don't know how to thank you.
Please, Stella, you're overreacting. We are family. It's natural that we look after each other in times like these. I'm not doing anything special. And it's not your fault that you have to work full-time to support your family. I know it's hard for you too, not being able to see him as much as you want to. None of us asked for this, including George, of course.
I know, dear. Honestly, at times like this, I can't help but to think what God is up to. Hazel finally starts elementary school, and a month later, George is in the hospital. I thought we were living the happiest moments in life, you know? But the next thing we know, we hit rock bottom.
I know, Stella. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I can't believe the doctor told us he only has months to live. I still can't believe any of this either. But, you know, if there's one thing that makes George who he is, it's his resilience. He has always rose back from hardships he faced. I'm sure he will do the same this time and beat the crap out of his illness. I agree. He hasn't given up, and I haven't either. Not that there's much I can do for him. What? Stella, what are you talking about? George is able to concentrate on his fight because you're giving him everything to support the family. He couldn't have come this far without you, so please don't say that. Okay, thank you, Mia. You always give me confidence. I don't know what I would do without you. Oh, I forgot to ask. Is it possible for you to take Hazel in the week after next? I know this is short notice, but I would be grateful if she could stay with you for 5 or 6 days. The week after next? Are you going away for business again? Yes, I have to. I keep telling my boss I can't go on so many business trips at the moment, but we are so short-staffed. And I'm not the only one with a child, so with overflowing tasks, I feel really bad to ask for special treatment, you know? I understand. It's best if your boss and colleagues can take on your responsibilities, but they have families and other priorities too. I'm sure they wish they could help you more, but it's a hard balance. It is. So, I tell myself at least I don't have long working hours. And I never work on the weekends, so that's been helpful. So, how is your availability? Is 5 to 6 days too long? Oh, sorry. I didn't even realize I haven't answered your question. Of course, she can stay with me as long as she needs. You can count on me anytime, be it sudden or planned.
How nice of you to say. I am really glad I listened to George back ago when we moved here. He wanted to be close to you because he knew we could count on you in case of an emergency. These days, it's been a lifesaver that we live in the same area. I could ask my parents, but I would have to put Hazel on a place to make that happen.
It doesn't help that our parents aren't too close either. I mean, they are only a couple of hours away, but they are getting too old to come around often. They told me how bad they felt for not being supportive enough of you and Hazel.
Oh, they shouldn't feel that way at all. They have helped so much with the medical costs. Without their help, George would not be able to continue his treatments. And on top of that, they have been very generous to help out with Hazel's necessities.
My parents are not well off enough to help us financially, so I am grateful for them. Your parents are helping you in every way they can, I'm sure. Needless to say, you're the only one who is supporting George more than any of us. As his family, we are extremely grateful that he has you. So, when you need help, just let us know anytime. Let us do our role as you do yours. Like I said, we're family. Let's stick together and get through this. You're going to make me cry, Mia! Thank you, really. I promise, I won't give up until George gets better. And he will. But, Stella, please don't work yourself too hard. Life is challenging as it is. Okay, I won't. Alright, tell Hazel I am excited to see her in 2 weeks. We will have a great time together. Hi, Mia. Sorry I missed your call. I've had such a busy morning today. I was in a meeting until now and had left my phone on my desk. I see. Is everything all right? Stella, you might want to sit down. I have some news to break to you. Oh my god. Is it George? Has something happened? Unfortunately, yes. Stella, I'm so sorry. George passed away a couple of minutes ago.
I just made it to his final moments. It happened so quickly. They told me that his heart suddenly crashed and there was nothing they could do, despite their effort. I am so sorry. I wish I would have known and called you sooner. I wish you had the chance to see him. I understand.
It's okay. I will head to the hospital right away. Oh, but I guess I should pick Hazel up at school along the way.
Should I send someone to pick you up? I can come myself if you want.
It's all right. I realize it might not be so safe for me to drive, but I know you're too upset to drive too. If you can you ask the nurses how to proceed from here? Like, the steps we need to take? Have you contacted your parents?
Yes, I have. I got a hold of them a minute ago. They're on their way to the hospital right now.
Okay, thank you. What were his last moments like? Was he aware of what was happening? Did he go in peace?
He actually came back for a second, for his final breath. It was crazy. I felt a grip in his hand, so I think he knew I was there. And then he whispered what I think was Hazel's name.
That sounds like the George I know. Being resilient one last time. I'm getting in the car now. Please stay by his side until we arrive.
I'm sorry you had to send him off alone. It must be so hard for you too. I will get there as soon as possible. Stella? What's going on? Why was Hazel sitting on my front porch by herself?
Hasn't she told you?
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. She's telling me that you told her to live with us from now on.
That is correct.
I beg your pardon? What do you mean? Do you have another business trip you have to go on?
Come on, Mia, don't act stupid. I know you already know what I mean. You probably figured it out as soon as you realized how serious Hazel was.
You are leaving her?
Yes, I totally am leaving her. I can't take care of her anymore.
Stella, I know George's death has been super hard on you. But you don't have to feel pressured to raise her on your own. You know that we're here to support you, just like we have been for the past year.
Support me? Does that mean you're going to do everything for me 24/7? Like all the chores and pay for everything? That's not what you mean, is it? You see, I want to start a new life now that George is gone.
Excuse me?
It's his fault. He shouldn't have died leaving his wife and young daughter behind. I never asked to be a single parent. So I have decided that my first marriage was a mistake. That's why I'm starting over now. A fresh new beginning for Stella.
What? What has gotten into you?
I have been by his side all along as his wife. At least until he was admitted to the hospital. I have been a great, caring wife for him. What else do you want from me?
What about Hazel? You can't just abandon her so that you get to start anew. She is your daughter.
Yeah, but that means she's also your brother's child, right? So you're entitled to look after her too, as her aunt. I don't need her anymore, so take her in, like you always have, won't you?
You don't need her? Are you being serious? How can you be so selfish? What about her feelings? You think she's happy that she gets to start a new life without her mother? She realizes that you left her, you know. She just lost her dad. You are supposed to take care of her, not dispose her like trash.
Well, aren't you glad she has you to do all that for her? I, on the other hand, can simply not.
Stella, we need to sit down and talk about this carefully. You are clearly not yourself right now. She can stay with me for a couple of days. Meanwhile, let's find a suitable time for the both of us to talk about this.
Sorry, but I don't have that kind of time. And I have already moved away. The house we used to live in is now empty. I quit work too, so I won't be around in the area anymore.
Where did you move?
Silly Mia. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you. I don't need you chasing me around to lecture me. Nor have you leave Hazel on my doorstep.
I would never do such a thing.
Whatever. I am not telling you my new location no matter what. What I am telling you is that I quit being Hazel's mother.
What about her custody? Are you going to at least handle the legal matters?
I have no clue about legal matters. I'm sure you can find a way to adopt her somehow. Help yourself if you want to make things official. If you need me to sign something, I might be willing to help. You can let me know then. But other than that, I don't want you contacting me. I won't reply to anything either, so don't bother trying.
I can't believe you. You are actually willing to let her go?
This is what I have been saying. Can't you read? If you want me to be sorry, I'm sorry. There you have it. I need to enjoy life for myself and not for someone else. That's all.
You can enjoy your life for all you want, but leaving Hazel out of it is just a different story. She's not some kind of disposable tool.
Enough, Mia. We will never understand each other. Let's save each other's breath for something better. If you want to think of me as a horrible mother, go ahead. I don't care. But I am done taking care of Hazel, so if you want to, please do. Don't contact me unless it's about legalizing her custody or whatever it is that you want to do.
Wait, Stella! We are not done talking.
We are, really. It was great knowing you. Thanks, and good luck taking care of Hazel. Bye. Hello, Mia. How are you?
What? Stella?
Hi, I'm glad you replied. How have you been? It's been a long time.
What do you want?
You don't have to be so cold.
You're as good as dead to us.
Please, Mia, we used to be good friends, right?
So you want me to act like nothing happened? You got some nerves.
I was young and living a difficult time back then.
Young? Don't make me laugh. You can't use young as an excuse for what you have done.
Tell me, have you settled down with someone since?
Yes, I have.
Oh, wow, congratulations! I am very happy for you. I'm guessing your husband was accepting of Hazel too then, huh? Do you have kids of your own now?
I do. But what does that have anything to do with you?
Is Hazel getting along with them? I hope she's not feeling awkward around her stepfather or step-siblings.
What? Why the hell would she feel awkward?
Mia, come on, stop being so mad. I'm trying to just have a conversation with you. Please don't be such a stranger to me. You're making me feel very sad.
What do you want? If you want to small talk, do it with someone else. I am not interested.
Now, don't be so icy. You have to give me a chance. You see, I got married 2 years ago.
What do you want me to say? Hooray?
No, I don't expect that from you. But I would like to take Hazel back.
Come again.
My husband really wants a girl. We've been trying for a baby for some time now, but it's not working. Maybe it's age, maybe it's luck, I don't know. But we've not been able to get pregnant, despite many efforts. So that is why I would like to welcome Hazel back into my family. It's not a bad idea, don't you think? I'm sure that you would like to concentrate on your own kids now that you have them.
Honestly, I have no words. You are simply unbelievable.
It'll be fine. I will do it right this time. I promise to take care of her. I will pick her up from your place next week with my husband. Can you prepare her things, please?
How sad that you're clueless about your own daughter. Don't bother coming, because she is not around.
Excuse me? What do you mean? Where is she? Don't tell me you never took care of her. Is she in foster care?
You know, I kind of assumed that you would do your own research to find out how she's doing at some point. But you really never gave a damn about her, did you? Did her existence ever cross your mind at all over the years? Are you seriously too busy with yourself?
I've had my own business to take care of. So where is she? Tell me. Now.
Hazel is studying overseas.
Overseas? What? Why? She's what, like 14 or 15? That means she's barely started high school. How can she be studying abroad at such a young age?
How? Because she is smart and she earned it. Unlike you, dummy. Don't you remember how bright your own daughter used to be even when she was 6?
Maybe.
Oh, right. You were never that interested in her, even back then. Well, she was. She was always academic and would memorize things even adults have a hard time memorizing. Her teachers were always surprised by her abilities. We all thought she was simply smart, but then when my husband met her, he saw something different. He suggested she take an IQ test, and that's how we found out she has a much higher IQ than most people.
And that is why she's studying overseas?
Partially yes, because the levels of education in a regular high school is meaningless for her. There were greater opportunities in schools abroad that wanted her as a student. And the other reason why she decided to go was to avoid you, in case you asked to take her back.
Huh? Are you saying that you knew I would ask? Why?
We weren't sure, of course. But we made an intelligent guess based on your selfish way of thinking. And unlike you, we've kept an eye on you, so we knew you got married. And from our findings, we assumed you and your husband would want Hazel back.
Excuse me? So you read me? Is that what you're trying to say?
We've had a private investigator tracking you over the years. We had them report what you've been doing from time to time. You would be surprised to know how much we know about you. You see, you might have forgotten about Hazel, but we never forgot about you. And that meant we needed to collect as much information as possible so that we can fight you right, in case you ever come claiming for Hazel. But wow, it's unbelievable that you think you can just take her back.
Of course I can! I am entitled to it because I had her. I may not have custody anymore, but it won't change the fact that I am her biological mother. No one can take that away.
Sure, you are her biological mother. So what though? No one thinks you're her mother. None of my family, nor Hazel herself. You know, after you literally left her, she developed a panic disorder. She was emotionally unstable for a very long time. It took years until she was able to live her life without getting any panic attacks. Can you imagine what kind of childhood she had to spend because of you?
Well, it shouldn't matter anymore if she's fine now. She's grown and stable now, so nothing to fuss about.
You see, this is why you will not see Hazel. You haven't changed one bit and have not learned anything through the years. You are so low and so disgusting. You are not necessary in her life. I will not let you ruin her again. Never. No, you don't get it. She loves me. She was crying when I left her at your place. She was begging me not to go. It's because she didn't want to lose me. So, if she finds out that I want to live with her again, I know she will be thrilled. It's what she's always wanted. Dream on, woman. This is not one bit true. She chose to study abroad so that you couldn't reach her. And she also does not want to live with your husband. We know what he's done in the past. I will never let your husband get near Hazel.
His past? What are you talking about? What do you know about him?
Ha! Interesting. Do you not know? Your husband has been divorced 3 times, right?
What? No, he's only been divorced once, same as me.
You should check again because he's lying to you. Our private investigator ran a background check on him via legal documents, so I am 100% sure.
Oh, well, maybe. It doesn't matter. A lot of people get divorced multiple times nowadays. There's nothing rare about that, is there?
He has been married 3 times, all to single mothers who's had a daughter from their previous marriage. And all 3 of them divorced your husband for the same reason.
What?
He's a child molester. Or at least he attempted.
Excuse me? You can't be serious. My husband?
He's been reported for suspicious actions against the girls, but he never actually got caught. But his previous wives divorced him as soon as they realized why he ever married them. You should look into his past yourself if you want to know the details. The bottom line is, he's a sick bastard who needs to be put in jail.
No. Wait, is that why he's been wanting a girl?
How the hell am I supposed to know? But from the information I have, he was probably looking for his next target. So now you know what a monster he is. I will never let you lay one finger on Hazel. Needless to say, of course, you can't take her back, even if he wasn't around.
You have to give me your investigator's report. You still have it, don't you? Let me have it. I need to know more.
Why should I help you with anything? If you want to know more, then do your own homework.
I can't possibly continue to live with him any longer if what you're telling me is true. I didn't even know he was divorced 3 times. He said he was only married once. He tricked me. This is fraud. I'm going to sue that son of a bitch. He's going to pay for this.
Well, I refuse to help or give anything to you. Besides, it costs money to run an investigation, you know? Why should I have to give you what I paid for? If you want to dig up your husband's past, help yourself. You have money, don't you? You took everything my brother left for Hazel.
That was ages ago. Of course there is none left. I don't have the kind of money to spend on a private investigator.
You used it all? What a fool.
It was my husband. He said he was going to use it on some sort of investment stock. But it didn't go well, or at least that's what he told me. Too bad.
As much as it bothers me how you wasted my brother's money, what you have lost is not my problem. You can sue him or beat him or whatever you want to do, I honestly don't care. We're not related in any way, and I prefer it to stay that way for the rest of our lives.
Please don't cut me out like that. I just wanted to be happy, Mia. I just wanted to live a normal married life. I deserve to be happy. I deserve a warm, loving man. Your brother couldn't give that to me, and it's not fair. I was never supposed to be a worn-out widow with a child to care for on my own.
Don't you dare talk about what my brother couldn't give you. As sad as it was that my brother passed away, you had the chance to be happy with Hazel. But you ruined it by running away from her. If you want to blame your unhappiness on someone, then blame yourself. We know you were seeing other men when my brother was in the hospital. Hazel remembers everything. Those business trips you had to take, none of them were real. You were traveling with your boyfriends, having fun while my brother was dying, and I took care of Hazel. And yet you want to talk about fairness? About my brother not giving you happiness?
I needed to get my mind off of everything I was going through. I was just trying to overcome the hard times.
What about Hazel? She was experiencing sadness no child should ever experience. She needed support more than you. But you didn't want to face her. Because of what you did to her, she broke down once. I will never, ever forgive you for that.
Mia, listen, please. I don't have any money right now. Everything I ever had has been handled by my husband ever since we got married. I was a fool not to see how he was probably lying to me about his investments until now. I will pay you back when I divorce him. But I need the information you have on him in order to do that. Please, give me what you have on him. I am begging you.
Hell no. I will never help you in any way. If you try hard, I am sure you can find the information yourself since I've already told you where to look. You're an adult, so stop depending on other people.
I am coming over to your place right now. I will bang on your door until you give me those reports.
Stella, you don't even know where I live. You think I kept the same address over the years? I told you, I am married with children. I moved out of my previous condo ages ago.
Fine, I will have to bother your parents then. You don't want that, do you?
My parents have moved too. They're living in the nursing home far away from you. But if you still want to visit their old home, go ahead. Just don't expect anyone you know to answer the door.
You want to do this the hard way then? Fine. I will tell my husband that you're in the way of getting back Hazel. If my husband really wants her as a target, I'm sure he will pay anything it takes to bring her home. He will finally get what he wants. You don't want his gruesome fingers on her, do you? Now give me those reports or I will tell him. If you give me the reports now, I won't bother Hazel. This is a one-time offer. Give it to me.
You are a sad person. But whatever, Stella. I don't care what you tell him. He can take any action against us all he wants. We still have the reports to support our case. And I guess he'll just have to defend himself somehow, this time in court. Oh, and by the way, if we ever go to court, it will probably take years for this case to conclude. You see, we're moving to my husband's home country, where Hazel is now. So we won't be around.
What? You're moving overseas? Where?
Why on earth would I tell you? But if you must know, we are moving far away.
Well, if you're moving away from us, then you don't need those reports. Just give it to me, damn it! You won't ever see us anyway. You have no use for it anymore. Please, I won't bother you if you just hand it over.
You are bothering me right now as we speak, even though you're the one who told me not to contact you when you left Hazel with me. So I don't believe anything you say.
Mia, please. You don't know what I have been through. I thought I would finally be happy when I got married to my husband. I thought everything would turn out the way it was supposed to as long as I could get pregnant. But he's become so cold once he realized I wasn't going to give him a baby girl. But I had to stay with him if I wanted to keep the quality of my life. I had to stay with him to be happy. You see, I've tried so hard.
But I can't believe he tricked me into all of this. I have to get revenge.
Sure, whatever. Go ahead. Just don't ask me to help.
I shouldn't even reply to you anymore. Wait, please. I don't have anything to fight him with. I can't win without arms. I have to get my revenge and get my money back and take everything he has too. That way I can restart my life again. Just like I did before. I should get another chance, right?
You are so selfish. You deserve 0 chances. All you do is think about yourself and taking things from others. You will never be happy. And frankly, I have better things to worry about than how you end up in life. Go away, Stella. You left Hazel first. You can't complain if we leave you. I told Hazel what happened shortly after my conversation with Stella. Hazel, now understanding for certain that her mother will not bring any good to her, told me to delete all contact which I have kept in case she needed it in the future. Hazel and I felt pretty good about discarding all of Stella's contacts. It kind of felt like a fresh start, which, ironically, is what Stella always wanted. A couple of months later, we saw on the internet that Stella's husband was arrested for sneaking into a school for God knows what. I'm glad his name is now on the internet so that he'll have to live on his toes for the rest of his life. To think of it now, the two must be a good fit, one being a child neglector and the other being a molester. They must have supplemented each other, although Stella is all alone now. We asked a private investigator to look into Stella one last time and found out that she officially divorced her husband after his arrest. Her husband had used all of what my brother left, leaving her with no money. She currently lives in an old apartment in a shady neighborhood, working every day to pay her bills. Honestly, I don't think it'll last though. Her crooked personality will eventually get in the way of keeping a job, which will drift her away even more from happiness. Perhaps my hatred towards her wants me to think that she'll never be happy. But one thing is for sure, she will never be as happy as Hazel. Hazel has skipped several grades, learning things that I would never understand in my lifetime. Hazel used to be quiet and afraid to speak her mind, but ever since she began to study in her current school, she's flourished into an intelligent, outspoken young woman. Hazel was abandoned by her own mother immediately after losing her father. The trauma she has suffered is unimaginable, but she's a strong, bright girl who's not afraid anymore. She knows her father will always be watching over her, and the rest of us still here will always protect her so that she can go beyond her limits.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.